Hello friends, it's Danny here, and I'm excited to be on the Scrappy Boy Stamps channel today to share how to create a shaped card using the Fairy House Store mini album die. But before we get to that, thought I would share one of the newest collections that are available now in the Scrappy Boy Stamps shop. This is the Once Upon a Time series or fairy tale series. This is called Briar Rose. And there is a gorgeous stamp set. Briar Rose has some of my favorites. I love the little fairies and the queen, we'll call her. Just so much fun. There is some beautiful papers that go with it for the Briar Rose. I love the little characters on them. Makes for some fun cards. The matching outline dies, and then again, what we're going to be working with today is the Fairy House Store mini album. I'm going to set all of that aside for a moment. I also wanted to share another part of the release is confetti shaker plates. Since I'm on the design team, I don't get packaging for all the things, so I don't have the actual packaging, but these are amazing. You can use them to make shaker bits. You can embellish your cards with them. Right now there's 15 different designs. Just simply fabulous, amazing, awesome. It's really easy to use as well. Might need to send it through your die cutter at an angle to make sure that it goes through. I haven't had any problems with it. It's easy to take a strip of paper, like let's say you only wanted these butterflies. You could just lay that on there and only cut out those butterflies, or you can do the whole sheet. I am in love, and they are so much fun to play with. I can't wait to play with them more, so I wanted to share those. Again, there are 15 different designs. Got some sea, some space, some like fairy tale, hearts and rhinestones, mouse shoes, mouse shorts, mouse gloves, mouse heads, flowers and butterflies, girl mouse shoes, some confetti, a castle, some fairy tale images there, some zigzag confetti, and then some mouse bows. Just so much fun. And then I do have some creations to show you. If you've been watching, you know that for every Once Upon a Time release, I've been making a tall memory dex card for myself. So this is mine for the Briar Rose collection. A good nap changes everything. I will agree with that, although I'm not sure if I've shared it on this channel. About a year ago, I lay down for a nap and I woke up and the right side of my body was numb. It is not a stroke. I really can't find the reason behind it. I've been going to the chiropractor and I've seen improvements in lots of areas, but I am still numb on my right side. But I can still function, do everything. But sometimes a nap when you get a little older is questionable, I guess. But no, a good nap changes everything. And then I have a shaker. I did use some of those confetti shaker bits in there, some of the butterflies and some of the flowers. I did add, and some of the hearts I did with some metallic cardstock. And then I just added some they're little tiny stars. I don't know if you can see it, that just shimmer. And added those fairies and the kiss. And there's the inside. And then I used this one. I put some vellum behind her to kind of mute it, but then she stands out. And there's the inside. I think this is one of my favorites. Another shaker. I did use those shaker bits on the inside. I also used them as embellishments on the outside. I did add some actual shaker bits just because I like the sound when you shake it. But the Mistress of All Evil, used some of that paper. But a super fun shaker card there. And then this one, I just had some fun. In this Fairy House Door mini album, there's this flower. And I thought it would just be fun. Originally, I was going to make it shaker, but then I thought I wanted to show that paper through. So I just die cut different places. Stamp the sentiment, you make every moment magical. Added those fairies. and our princess. And then I went around it with stickles so it would be sparkly. And I just think it turned out so neat. Just a little bit of a different type of card, but again, I really liked how it turned out. And then I did create this just so that I knew how the Fairy House Store mini album card die would go together. I used that paper. I just stamped Fairy Tale in there from the stamp set and thought it turned out really pretty. And then I made it into a shaped card, which is what we're going to be doing today. Today we're going to be doing a very much like a simpler version of that. Let me grab all my supplies over here. I have everything ready to go. This actually is very easy to put together. The pieces are pretty self-explanatory. There is a picture on the back that shows you how to put it together as well. I kept it very, very basic, just using cardstock and a little bit of that pattern paper so that you could get the idea that you could have a very simple version. You could have a very dressed up version. Like you could even go around here with, like, in the stamp set there were like this flower stamp. You could stamp that several times, die cut it out, and then put that around it. On our version we're going to make today, I'm not adding the sign, but you could add that sign. Just lots and lots of possibilities. So the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm not going to add a white layer to this because I think that you could still write on it and see. I wanted a pretty big area to fold, so I'm going in, lining it up on my score tool, and I'm going to score right at like 1 inch, just across there. If you watched my videos before, you know that I prefer to do it this way. It just makes sense to my brain. I know that you can fold the cardstock and then run it through and leave a partial cut, but my brain doesn't work that way. So I do it this way. And then I'm just going to add some ATG, and I'm going to add a little bit of liquid glue just so that it is sturdy. It stays the way it's supposed to. And then I'm going to bring in, I did die cut 2 of those. It's the outermost layer here of this die. And then we have the stitch layer, and then we have the detail layer. I'm just going to bring this in, and I'm just going to line it up like so before I really press down. All right, I got it lined up, and I'm just going to, like reinforce where we have that adhesive, and then it opens up and you have the card basically started. Easy peasy. This is that stitch layer. I did do it out of that 6x6 paper, a little bit of ATG, and then a little bit of liquid adhesive just so that it stays in place. If you've watched my videos for a while, you know that I struggle with glue, but I think that I've actually been doing pretty good lately. I think I might have found some of the liquid glue that I can work with that likes me. And that is the Nuvo Deluxe Adhesive, I think it is. I really like that one. I've also tried the Barely Art. I know everyone loves that one. I'm not as big of a fan, but it does work for like some of the more finer detailed pieces. All right. I'm just going to push that down, and then I'm going to bring in this piece. You could go over this with like some ink so that you could really get those details to pop. I wanted this to be more on the subtle side, so I didn't do that, but like that's a whole nother option. You could bring in some ink and do some ink blending on it, or again, you can use like pattern paper, whatever you want to do. Again, just some adhesive and some liquid glue just so that it stays together. I don't know about you, but I don't like when I send cards, I don't want to take a chance that they're going to not be secure when they arrive. All right, so we're going to put that down there. Again, just adhere it. Movement. All right. There's the basic of the door, and again, it does open up. Next, I'm going to add this little like grounding piece. So just some liquid adhesive on that. Again, you could ink blend it. It doesn't have a lot of detail, but you could ink blend it to make it more prominent if you wanted. Again, I wanted to keep this more on the simple side just for you know, putting it together. So easy peasy. And then before I stick down like the door frame, I guess you could call it, I'm going to actually stick down like the hinges, I guess we could call them, because I want to tuck those underneath it a little bit. And I'm going to switch glue here to that Barely Art because it has a finer tip on it. So I'm just going to start. And on the back, obviously you could put them however you wanted, but it does show you like how to, it suggests to put them there. So I'm going to do that one on the top. So I'm just going to see where I really want it, probably about like that. And then this one down here. I'm going to throw the glue bottle all over. And I'm going to want it, I think, about like that. Now I'm going to go ahead and adhere the like arch or frame or whatever you want to call it. I'm not a door expert. On the outside of it. Just kind of lining it up. Since we're using the liquid adhesive, we have a little bit of wiggle room if we don't get it exact when we first put it down. All right, just kind of press it so that it adheres. And then again, I'm not using the sign on this one, but you could easily add the sign, or you could just add the sign and not the flower. I'm just adding the flower in the middle there. So it does have two layers. Has this layer that has all the pokey holes in it, I guess you'd call, like a screen. I'm just going to lay that there. I'm actually going to put a block on that one. So that's this die right here is the base layer, and then this one goes on top. On the sign, this is the base layer, and that one goes on top. And this little die here creates your doorknob and your little tack that would hold the sign if you were using that. I'll probably have to put that block on it again, but for the sake of the video, I'm going to add this top piece here. And it just goes easily right on top of it. Makes such a neat design. And then I'm going to bring in that doorknob. I'm going to put it right there. And just stick that down. And there is our shaped card using the Fairy House Door mini album. Again, I kept this one simple just so that for the video purposes, again, you could decorate it however you wanted. You could make it a little mini album, maybe have all the different fairy tales inside, like you open it up. I would maybe do it on this side and you flip through and see all the different fairy tales. So many possibilities, such a neat die. And again, there's that stepped up version using the pattern paper. Again, you could ink blend. Lots and lots of possibilities. So that's what I have for you today. I'm going to put that on there so it dries well. And until my next video, go do something for yourself and go get crafty. I'll see you soon. Bye.